Dear colleagues, this video is about the introduction of PLC as Modbus to Master Station communication. Right-click Device and select Add Device. Select Modbus COM and add. Click Modbus COM, select Modbus Master and add. Click Modbus Master, select Modbus Slave and add it. Add several Modbus slaves if there are several slave stations. Only one slave station is connected here, you can reserve one. Double-click Modbus COM to configure the port. For a PLC with only one RS485 port, set COM port R. For a PLC with two RS485 ports, set port link to R and port E to 3. The lower baud rate, parity, data bit, and stop bit must be consistent with the settings of the slave station. The type can be set to R2 or ASCII. Check the box below to automatically restart the slave station. Set the address of the slave station here. On the slave channel page, you can add the data address that you want to communicate with. The channel name can be customized. Access types include holding registers, call reads and writes, and input registers and discrete input reads. This channel configures the type of a read-hold register. There are three trigger types: cycle trigger, rising edge trigger, and application trigger. The three trigger types are shown below. The first configuration is cycle trigger type. Just set the cycle time to perform data transmission according to the set cycle. Below set the starting address and length of the data to be read from the slave station. This channel is set to read 10 consecutive addresses, starting from station 401. The configured channel appears in the I/O mapping. Here you can add the address that you want to initialize the assignment. Download the project into PLC. Use the debug assistant as the slave station. The communication parameters must be the same as those of the master station. You can see that the initialization data of the settings has been transferred. Let's look at real-time data interaction. Let's look at the rising edge trigger type. Modify the lower channel link directly. It is configured to write data to 10 consecutive addresses starting from the slave station 4001 by triggering the rising edge. You can also add channels to configure other addresses and read and write types. Download the project into PLC. You can see that the initialization data of the settings has been transferred. You can see that the data from the master station is not transmitted to the slave station. The rising edge control variable needs to be triggered for a single data transfer. Next, modify the channel configuration to be triggered by the application. Channeling is configured to read 10 consecutive addresses from the start address of coil 000E triggered by the application. The ModbusRTU block needs to be called in the program, and the data transfer is done by triggering the function block pin. Enter the name of the slave station. Trigger this pin to transfer data once. Enter the channel number here. Download the project into PLC. You can see that the master station did not read the data from the slave station. The enable pin of the application needs to be triggered for a single data transfer. The master-slave communication status can also be observed through the function block pins. You can see that the error code changes after the communication is disconnected. About the introduction of PLC as Modbus to master station communication. That's all. Thank you.